Okay, future hubby, wherever you're at, your girl is struggling, okay? What do we have? We got an oil change. We got check engine light. We got E. We're on 9 miles to E.
The text says how it feels when you get your dream job and finally dump the bank, I mean the guy you've been dating, for the guy you actually love. What guy is going to be paying for all your stuff like this and be, comfortable being the bank when you're not even in a serious relationship, right? Why are you doing that, guys, right? Only a guy with no options is going to do that for you, right? So she's got no respect for that guy. That's why she don't like him.
I think that most men are scared of marriage because they don't feel like they are wired to be with one woman for the rest of their life, and that's a scary thought.
Do women confuse chemistry with compatibility?
Yes! My God! So much and too often! Do a lot of men watch porn?
Yes, they're obsessed with it.
Do a lot of women watch porn?
Yes.
Yeah?
Women are worse.
I was just listening to the table around me, and almost 100% of the women around me have said they were thinking of a different man while having with their own.
I cannot relate at all.
I was like, let us know in the chat. Have you ever thought about another person while sleeping with your person? I want to know, because personally, no. I don't believe in divorce though. Divorce is just not on the table for me. If that had happened, one of the reasons for annulment is fraud, and I'd feel like I got frauded into children. If he robbed the bank and went to jail, yep, I'm gonna have my man's back.
Do strong women still need soft men?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Masculine women need feminine men, but we've talked about that.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I figure if anyone's going to have the answer, it's going to be TikTok. So clearly, us women have been looking in the wrong places. And we would love to know, myself and all my single girlfriends, where are all the single men between the ages of 35 and 45 who are also seeking a relationship? Where are y'all hanging out? Like, we would love to know. Do we need to start going to Home Depot more? Taking some golf lessons? Like, where are you?
Hey!
Hey.
What are you doing home?
I got off work early.
Didn't expect you to be home till right there. I'm gonna do a surprise for you.
You worked a 12-hour shift. Move.
You have to leave.
No.
I was about to do a surprise for you.
I gotta go. Who's in the bathroom? Why's the water acting so weird, Jenna?
I'm not. I'm gonna surprise you.
You've never got off the couch when I got home. Why's the sink on?
No.
Who's in here? Why's the door locked? Jenna?
Genuinely heartbreaking, man. There's men out here going through this every single day, coming home to find out their wife is cheating on them, sleeping with another dude, and they don't know how to respond. No reaction will always be the best reaction, man. I know how much it hurts right now in this moment, but time heals all wounds. God heals all wounds. Give that pain you're feeling to the Lord, man, and don't give her any emotion. Don't show her emotion. I know how hard that is, man. Don't sit there and talk to her about it. There's nothing else to be heard. You already know what she did. You already know that she doesn't respect you anymore, and that woman that you fell in love with is no longer there, man. You made her special in your head. She's no longer special anymore. You get up, you get on your grind, and you do what you need to do to improve your life. Focus on the Lord, man. Focus on what He has for you. It's a promise, man. Jeremiah 29:11, He has a plan for your life. He has something for you. No matter who you are, what you're going through, He has a plan for your life, man. Give it to Him. Become the best version of yourself you could possibly be, man.
I keep hearing women say, I do not want a man telling me what to do. I basically do my thing, he does his thing, and I just want a husband to be there for me. And I completely understand not wanting to be controlled. I understand wanting independence. But I'm gonna be honest, what they are describing does not sound like marriage. That sounds like two people slowly living separate lives under the same roof. Marriage is communication. Marriage is compromise. Marriage is accountability. Marriage is sometimes hearing things you don't want to hear and growing from it. You can't ask someone to be there for you, but also say, don't correct me. Don't challenge me. Don't expect anything from me. That's not partnership. That's convenience. Marriage is not you do your thing and I'll do my thing. Marriage is let's build a life together.
If I find a girl that I want to make my wife, and I find her super attractive.
Your wife. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what I would do. I would make her my wife. I would ask her to marry me and then make her my wife. You say you are a feminist. You're 100%.
That is feminist.
You heard me say that.
I would make her my wife. Like.
Yeah, because that's what I would do.
It's like I'm an equal human, the woman.
You,
it's not about
you say that.
To make her your wife.
Obviously, she would want to be my wife.
She has her own life. She wants to be your wife too.
Yeah, of course, but she's not going to.
She wants to go to the club. She wants to do her makeup.
No, she's not going to want to go to clubs. She's not going to want to go to clubs. No,
she does.
Because here's the thing. That's a non-negotiable for me in marriage.
Okay, well
if I find a woman, if there's plenty of women out there that don't want to go to clubs all the time.
Okay, well.
There's plenty of women out there that don't want to go to clubs in tiny little dresses.
I think for a lot of men, this is their absolute worst nightmare. They get home after 8, 12 hours and you're not even happy to see them. I mean, at that point, he'll just get back in his car and drive back to work. And a lot of women don't realize that men will spend pretty much half their day when they get a chance thinking about you and they're excited to come home to you. So when it's not mutual, that's absolutely devastating. It also turns his home into a place where he doesn't feel fully safe. It's the one place he should feel most comfortable coming through the door for. He doesn't have to perform or follow all these weird rules, but then when you act like this, it turns it into just that. And women always get upset in these situations when he eventually withdraws. And she's like, oh, he changed. He used to be happy to see me. Why do you think he changed? A lot of men just notice. They see that you're not happy to see him. And he's not going to sit there and argue with you or explain it to you.
You know, honestly, I ain't against a lot of these modern women, you know, getting out there, getting the bag, doing their thing, building a career. Fantastic. But the fact that y'all have allowed feminism, this nonsense, to take over your brain, to think that you're better than a man, that you can outdo a man, outmatch a man, outpace a man in everything is crazy work. It's crazy work. I can call somebody right now to fix this. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters, sorry. You're going to call a man. You're going to call a man because he's naturally better at it than you. He's more gifted than you. So this type of stuff of, oh, well, I'm just better and I'm, you know, they say equality, but like I said, really what they mean is superiority. I'm better than you. Because y'all have some stupid agenda that you listen to that's got you out here acting silly.
I have a serious question for those who seem to be going on dates at least once a week, maybe even twice. Where are you finding these men to go on dates with? Because I live in Calgary and the only app I'm on is Hinge. I refuse to go on anything else. And everyone on there just literally makes me want to throw up in my mouth. It gets impossible for me to actually want to match with someone. And I do see people in public as well. And I have been approached in public quite a few times, but personally for me, they're just people I'm not physically attracted to. So I don't have a reason for myself, especially if I don't know who you are, to want to pursue anything further. But yeah, like, how are these people going sometimes on multiple dates a week? Like, this year, it is literally the end of October. I have gone on a few dates with one person. One person. So I've dated one person. Like, how are people like going on like 40 dates a year? I don't get it.
So you're about to be squats, but a creep behind you is staring. Visibly uncomfortable. You ain't got no business being uncomfortable because somebody's staring at you when you're dressed like that. You're at the gym, for God's sake. Why is your ass more than half of your outside for everybody else to see. And then you're going to say you're uncomfortable because people are looking at the that you failed to cover up. Maybe not failing to cover it up, but more so purposely not covering it up. Y'all women, you go out, you seek attention, and the moment you start getting the attention, it's a problem. Now these guys who are looking at you are creeps. I never understood why y'all are at the gym looking like that anyway. Because you're there to work out. You're not there to show and show tits. And I also don't understand how y'all are even allowed in the gym looking like that. If anything, y'all are in there making everybody else uncomfortable.
All rich men are difficult, spoiled, and mean to date with. That's a common opinion, and the reason why many women do not consider to have a provider man, high-value man, because they have this belief that these men are evil, you know. But let's talk about it. Money do not bring out the qualities you don't have. Money just highlight whatever is within you. So there is the same amount of mean and evil people within rich and within poor groups. It just sometimes it's more noticeable among rich men because they allow themselves to act like that with no regrets. Because they know that somebody will accept them the way they are. They don't need to pretend. So they bring all the heavy right away. Not only bad, but all the strange stuff, you know, etc. They kind of have a mindset that here I am, the way I am, it's what made me successful, so accept me or leave. Poor guys though, they know that nobody will deal with their shit, so they hide it. They hide it until the point they're valuable for you, not with their money, but with feelings you have towards them. So the moment you are in love, here are all the strange moments, mean moments, evil moments. Now they finally can afford it because you're in love with them. So somehow it's even better to date rich men. Because you see them the way you are almost right away, to a point, of course. And at least you know what you're dealing with. And what do you think about it? Let me know in comments.
I genuinely believe that every single woman deserves to receive $10,000 a month from her husband, from her boyfriend, whoever you're with, just for him to show his appreciation for you.
$10,000 a month for appreciation. Right.
And I think that is a standard that all men should be held to.
Of course they do. It's always those that seem to have excess money that are always very free with everyone else's. But it kind of makes a person wonder, what about those individuals that necessarily can't afford that $10,000 a month?
And as a man, if you cannot hold yourself to that standard, then you should not be dating at all, honestly. I mean, you're just not financially ready to provide. You're not ready to be in the scene.
The scene. Indeed. And for those who haven't done the math yet, that comes to approximately 120,000 American dollars per year just to, in some cases, just date some of these women.
And even more importantly, you're just not ready to get married yet.
There is nothing classier, after all, than someone with a classist mentality. But gentlemen, here's a reminder. A woman that genuinely cares about you is going to want you to invest your money in something that is important, long-lasting, and for the future, not just to spend it on them.
Okay, so there was a few comments like this, and I just want to say that when I first met my husband, I did not just find a successful man. He didn't have when I met him. He was taking pictures with protein jugs and being use my code Brian for 20% off. He was not successful by any means when we first met. But one thing that he always had was an insanely strong work ethic. He was always very motivated, had a vision of what he wanted for his future to look like. You know, even though he didn't really have much to begin with, I always knew that he would make it happen. He did make it happen. He became very, very successful at his job. A lot of people see a girl with a rich husband who doesn't work, must have just had it all handed to her, but it was not like that at all. I was in the trenches with him for years, and same with my best friend who was in the video with me. She was also with her husband for years before he became successful. So my biggest advice, if you want your life to look like this, is not to necessarily go looking for the most successful guy. Look for the guy that has the best qualities that will ultimately make him successful in the long run. Fly. Because then him providing for you isn't this weird transactional thing. And honestly, there's truly nothing more special than building something together and then seeing it all pay off.
These modern women, they continue to want a provider man, guy who pays for everything. You know, Kevin Samuels used to talk about, do you want, or he used to ask a question, do you want to work to pay significant bills? You know, and a lot of these modern women said no. And I think the split was usually around 70-30. And really, honestly and truly, a lot of these women wanted 100 to 0. A man's way. You do 100% and I do 0%. I'm remembering a modern woman talking about, I want the man to go to work and work 12 hours a day, and then I want him to come home and split chores with me. What? So they want the man to be in a traditional role, but then they don't want to be a traditional wife, right? A man's not going to really get anything in return but more work, more headache, more grief. Absolutely not.
What is being put out there currently as dating advice is seriously beginning to concern me.
Yes, being mean also works, and it's really important when you're talking to a man.
Really? Do tell.
Because if you're too nice, a man's gonna take that as an opportunity to take advantage of you, step all over you, and he's just not gonna respect you at all.
I think there's a very good reason why it's projected that the majority of women in the very near future are going to be single. And it's not because they're choosing it.
You also have to balance your feminine energy while being mean, and that's what's gonna make him respect you.
Huh, silly me. And here I thought that it was always best to just be yourself, as opposed to pretending to be something that you're obviously not. Because no one can keep up a facade indefinitely.
And this is known as a black cat energy.
Maybe there was something to that old superstition after all, of having it be bad luck to have a black cat cross your path.
If you're too nice, a man's not gonna respect you because he doesn't see that as a challenge. Being too nice is just too easy. If you're a little bit rude, then he's gonna see it as a challenge and he's always gonna chase you.
Unless, of course, that man has a sense of self-worth, good self-esteem, and prioritizes his own happiness over playing games, in which case he's going to run in the opposite direction.
I didn't see this coming. Y'all ready?
Every now and then, if you think about it, you might want to go out there and date somebody, but then the thought of getting to know somebody, learning their ways, and, taking a chance on if they gonna do right or not, don't seem like it's worth the risk sometimes. And that's what keeps a lot of us single a lot of times. Not because we can't get nobody, but that be the case most of the time. Once you been alone for so long, you just enjoy it that way. You just would rather keep it that way. And I think the majority of us want somebody, to spend our life with. But then when you start thinking about that peace you have, it'd be hard to let go. Not saying you can't have peace with somebody, but just to, ain't none of us perfect. So when you get with somebody, you gonna go through something.
That's the cost of being in a relationship. So some people choose to be alone totally just because of peace. Will they get and want to be with someone? I think so. But at the moment, a lot of people are just choosing peace over having to learn someone, having to learn their ways, learn what they like, learn their irks, learn what they don't like what you to do, learn what they love for you to do, learn what they expect more of you to do. A lot of times, and again, this is what from my perspective, I think the main thing is on the guy.
Women are not emotionally intelligent, and when a woman says that she wants emotional intelligence from a man, what she really means is that she wants a man to be able to change his behavior to make sure that she isn't the one being out of control with her emotions because she's not able to control them herself. It means that the men in their lives have to behave a certain way to essentially make her behave correctly because she doesn't know how to control her own self and her own emotions, and she's not emotionally aware of things that are going on around her. Most women that scream emotional intelligence don't even know what it means. It means being in control of your emotions and using logic around situations and adapting to different environments, which women cannot do, myself included. When a woman says that she wants a man to be emotionally intelligent, it means that he has to just know everything that she's feeling 24/7, 7 days a week. And it gives her the ability to deflect accountability and shift blame as to why he doesn't just know. Women think that just because they're emotional, it means that they're emotionally intelligent. But the reality is that women use their emotions as an excuse for poor behavior, or they use their emotions to shift blame to the men in their lives for not being emotionally intelligent, when really men are more emotionally intelligent than women, and women don't want to accept that or believe that, so it's easier to just blame men instead. Okay, bye.
If you're a baby mama, more men are starting to look at it this way. You are not a baby mama. You are a broken family. And you need to go back to your baby daddy ex-boyfriend, whatever he is, and work your problems out and put your family back together. That is honestly your best bet. And if that's untenable, then you got to understand that men are saying, why'd you have the kid then? If you didn't want to be with him, why'd you have the babies? That's what most men are thinking. Now, let's say you're just super cute, super fine, smoking body, whatever. You will more than likely, let me just take that off. You're still going to be permanent side chick status. The only way you're going to actually get a ring and a wedding ceremony is if you are a solid 9 in the face, 8, 9, 10 in the body, and your situation is appealing. I know you see athletes and entertainers wifing up. That doesn't work in the everyday world because Henry has colleagues. Henry has fraternity brothers. He has a family. He has all these people who he has to deal with in his community. He has the homeowners association, and he's got to bring you into his life, and he has to explain this to them.
One thing that's interesting is the whole 50-50 debate, right? And it's interesting because, you know, it's 50-50 when it's convenient. But, you know, when it's time for a lot of the difficult stuff, a lot of the hard stuff, then suddenly it's back to, I want traditional roles, or I really want a man that's just an alpha, just an old school man, picking and choosing. Oh, I want to be a feminine woman today, but I wasn't interested in that yesterday. When it's difficult, I don't want to handle it. I just hand it off to the man, right? I just give it to the man, right? My husband. You can't have the benefits of traditional relationship when it suits you, and then want to flip around to modern society when it suits you. And that's what modern women try to do. And men see that crap. Men see that nonsense. You pick a lane and you stay in it. But the problem is, for a lot of modern women, they don't want to. They want the flexibility to go back and forth. And it confuses the man because modern women like to live in the gray area.
Dating apps are trash. I am done swiping. Oh my God. Men, where are you? Single men, the good ones, where the are you hiding? Don't you dare say the gym, because that just seems so awkward to me. Like, okay, I'm anxious, I'm here, I'm walking. Guy says, hi. I say, hi. Conversation ends. Do I need to go to Home Depot? What's gonna happen at Home Depot? Don't keep the conversation going. I'm shy. Then let's add in the fact that I like the kinky ones, the freaky ones, them boys. While you go to an event, they're all coupled. They're all married. They got like 3-4 partners. Do I want to join your little polycule? Nah, not right now. I need a break. I want to be the one right now. You can do the host. But anyways, the whole point of this was where men, single men that are a little freaky. Where are you? Where are you hiding? Oh, hello. I'm just gonna be here on my blue couch forever, alone.
When you see things, the first sign of red flags, you got to be able to walk away, or you're going to waste a lot of time as a man. I've wasted a lot of time in my life as a man, a lot. I've been with women that were not good for me. I've been with women that I just thought were beautiful. I wasn't who I needed to be at that time. I didn't have a sense of self yet, of understanding who I really was. And on top of that, you know, in today's social media day and age, everybody's taught to work really hard, and you're in this constant state of anxiety because it's like you're worried about money, you're worried about where the world's headed, you're worried about career path, you're worried about what you're going to do in your early 20s and how you're going to find your way. All those emotions I felt. You know, this channel, the lessons that I teach on this channel, they're not pretty, right? It's years of pain. is what built this channel. Years of pain and figuring out how life is.
Hey, you listen here right now. You check out what I made for you. It's in my bio. It's in my description. It's a gift. I'm going to help you, yes you, learn, understand, and master the language of women. That way you can attract the woman you want and retain her interest level without her pulling away or leaving you heartbroken ever. Go and check that out. It's already in my bio. It's already in my description. Go and see what I made for you. You'll love it. Think of it as a gift. Right? For most people, the holiday season is once a year. Right now, the holiday season is right now. That's what I'm saying. You go and you just check that out. It's in my bio. It's in my description. You'll love it.
One of the things that I hated was like how big his ego was. Like he thought he was the prize and he was like, I'm handsome. I have money. Like, know that you are very lucky to be dating me. And you know, like the amount of self-control that it took for me to agree. Like, yeah, that's what I'm here. To gold dig the out of you. And he was a master manipulator. And when life presented me with that opportunity, I was like, okay, how am I, me, teeny, 5'1" Latina, is ever going to match the intellect and the manipulation tactics of a seasoned man, right? Expert in seduction. So I got to become creative, right? And I realized the men who have huge egos are easier to manipulate because all they think is about themselves. And all they pursue is things that are going to please them. And so I started working around, like out of the radar, where he wouldn't even suspect. Also because they're busy. They have busy lives. They really don't have time to be thinking or paying attention to your tactics. But some of them might. But in my case, it was easy. I will just start thinking of ways to gold dig him.
You think he stopped pursuing you, but actually he just got tired of it never being good enough. And I say this from experience, walked through 15 plus years of deep pain in my own marriage. And we went through this season in our life where my husband wanted to just do the same thing all the time. And I wanted something different. I wanted some variety, some spice. And so he would be doing the same thing again, and I would kind of just give him no energy. And he could feel that, and then he'd say something, and then I would complain and let him know this is boring. And he'd shut down, he'd leave, and then we'd both feel rejected by the end. And this happened over and over again, and I started to feel like he doesn't even care what I want or what I need. He's not pursuing me in the way that I'm telling him I want to be pursued. And he was feeling rejected, and he was going into these shame spirals that would keep us from feeling connected in any area of our relationship. And I've seen this play out over and over in the couples that I coach. The wife feels unseen and hurt, and so she becomes critical and guarded. She kind of goes into self-protection. And then he feels rejected and criticized, and he shuts down as well. The more he feels rejected, the more he withdraws. And so this cycle just plays out over and over again. You're both really in this self-protective state. And somebody has to come out of it, hopefully both of you. But right now, you can only control you. So that's why I'm speaking to you. And I want to encourage you to come back to the woman you are. Let the guard down, let the self-protection down, open back up, enjoy your softness, enjoy the playfulness and the pleasure and all of that that's inside of you. It makes you the woman that you are. Come out of survival mode. And I'm helping you do just that in my Come Back to You event. I'd love to get you more details. Just comment, come back below, and I'll send you the link.
Women nowadays will literally be like, I can't find any good men. There are no good men left. And then they'll be like, I just need 6 feet, about like 6 inches, and like 6 figures.
Even if this video was just meant for fun, it's still another case of men acting like women have impossible standards so that they feel better about themselves when they don't meet them. And it bothers me because these guys are acting like women are looking down on men who they would consider less than perfect. But have you ever heard a woman talk about a bum who she's in love with? Because she'll make every excuse in the world for why that man is incredible and just misunderstood. So let's say, for example, that a man has no job. She's not going to let you sit there and call him unemployed. No, she's going to tell you how it's probably because no one ever encouraged him and that he's going to be able to do anything he sets his mind to once she just believes in him. You're acting like women will only date men who make 6 figures, but I know women who are working 2 jobs with full insurance and a 401k who are dating men with 60 cents in their bank account because she thinks he has potential. I don't know how you can act like women will only settle for rich men anyways when most families are living paycheck to paycheck and can't survive on one income, because I think that means they married for love. And don't even get me started on what's between the legs, because there are women in 30-year marriages who have never successfully had a no, and you're gonna act like women are out here throwing the whole man away because of his size? Because I don't think so. In fact, there are women out here faking O's so that the men in their lives don't feel inadequate, and yet you're gonna act like we're out here bringing measuring tapes to our coffee dates? And sure, when it comes to height, maybe some women do have a preference for men who can reach the top shelf or the cookie jar, but that's all subject to change. If he's a good man with good qualities, then she may just fall in love and try to convert the whole world talking about how we love a short king. Listen, the truth is that even you don't believe this nonsense, because if you really believed that women had impossible standards, then you wouldn't be telling them to pick better men at every opportunity. So when I see videos like this, I realize that they're usually not mad about what women want. They're just mad that women don't want them.
What happened to men being the pursuers? Y'all don't chase anymore.
So let me tell you what's happening in the dating scene right now in the Western society. I live here in Melbourne, Australia. It's almost 2:30 a.m. and I'm going to speak the raw truth of an experience that just happened within the last hour, right? I just got home 10 minutes ago. I took a few clients out to a few bars here in Melbourne, one in particular being Garden State. And I feel like it's almost 9 out of 10 times we experience this. And you gotta wonder why a lot of guys don't pursue women anymore, and why a lot of guys tend to go down this very toxic, misogynistic path. And I don't speak of all girls right now, but I speak about particularly a lot of city girls. They're very self-entitled. And I know I'm gonna cop a lot of hate from saying this, but I speak the truth, right? We experience this heaps of times within a span of 10 minutes, right? Genuine guy, well-groomed, well-spoken, not even drunk, not creepy, goes up to a typical girl, a Western city girl, and just says, hey, how's your night going, guys? Typical scenario, girl turns around, are you gonna buy me and my girlfriend drinks? Because if not, can you like off? And I was just pissed off about the amount of disrespect I saw time and time again. Mind you, these girls were not drunk or tipsy. They were sober as. And I see this every single week on a Friday and Saturday night, right? One girl had the nerve to say, so it's my friend's birthday tonight, so unless you're not going to buy her drink, can you piss off? I said, who the are you? Like, I lost my at this girl and put her in her place, right? And I will never forget her face. Really pissed me off. Last girl in particular, you guys are going to love this. Came out of nowhere and just goes, unless you make more money than me, and unless you own your own business, and unless you're gonna buy me and my girlfriend drinks, you have no place being here, so can you just get away? And I lost my right? So you gotta wonder why so many guys live in fear of not wanting to approach genuine women nowadays, and why a lot of guys go down that red pill misogynistic path. It's because of like this.
Imagine telling Elon Musk, hey, I know you're a trillionaire or a billionaire. You could be a trillionaire. I know you're on pace. You have an opportunity to be that. But you need to be on my time schedule, because I'm a high value woman. I'm in my divine femininity, and you've never had anything like that. Imagine how stupid you would sound saying that to Elon Musk. That's what you guys sound like, saying that to a millionaire. These guys that are making quite a bit of money. Even a guy making 500 grand, and I say 500 grand like it's something small. You know, it don't matter. Really, honestly and truly, you can run across a guy making 50K, to be honest, and it's still not going to matter. A man is still going to be a man on all levels. And he's going to tell you we're not doing that. We're not doing that. There are principles, there are morals, there are certain things that we just not going to do, regardless of what tax bracket we're in. And modern women, they like to run their mouth depending on what tax bracket they're in. So when they down, they're not saying too much. When they on another man's dime, they're not saying too much. But when they start to get strong and independent, and that's when they start to run their mouths. That's when they start to run their mouths. Be careful out there.